G'day guys, welcome to another episode of Starcraft School. Hopefully some of you have actually watched the first episode. That one was between No July No and Deebs, where we had a little bit of a sort of a bronze-silver sort of matchup and a couple of games, and we had a look at a few things which the players need to have a look at working on and a few things that they were good at, and both of those guys have actually progressed quite well on the ladder. In fact, I'm not attesting that to Starcraft School at all, but they've both done really well now. So this time we're going to be having a look at two players a little bit perhaps higher up in skill, but it's actually quite hard to tell with these two guys. We do have down here on the right hand side of Scrap Station in the green, which we don't see too often, we have Hobocrunch, who is a Brotoss player. He's not actually technically ranked at the moment, however he's sort of, if he were to rank, I'd put him around the platinum sort of region. And then we have Calvus up here in the blue as a Terran on the top side of Scrap Station. Calvus is ranked in platinum at the moment. Both of them, though, haven't really done too much actual laddering at all. So it's kind of a little bit difficult to say, you know, these guys definitely are platinum or whatever. But today we are going to be looking at these matches that we've got. I've got a whole string of them, which should be in a playlist for you guys to have a look at a bit easier. And we're going to be having just a sort of a low-level sort of analysis of what they are actually up to. Watch out, that probe is not actually doing anything at all. So we'll be looking at just sort of small sorts of things that can be worked on for these players, and hopefully some of you who may have the same sorts of problems, we can hopefully find a solution for you, and hopefully you can get a little bit higher ranking in your current plays. So both of them scouting quite well. I think in episode 1 of Starcraft School, both of the players had a little bit of trouble with scouting. It's not as if they didn't scout at all, but it was sort of as if they would scout and then not actually react to it, which is obviously a very important part of your play, is making sure that when you are scouting, you are actually looking around and actually seeing what your opponent is doing. So you need to react properly when you can actually see something coming. So for example, we've got two gateways here from Hobocrunch, not a very common build on Scrap Station. So he may be trying to go for some Zealot pressure. Generally on this map though, the plays you will see things like from Terran, you'll see Banshee opening just to get some harass going on your opponent because of this short air distance here. So you'll see Banshee openings, or just some sort of standard things from Terran, such as 2 racks or 3 racks expand, that sort of thing. And then for Brotoss, you do tend to see things such as either a forge wall down here to actually hold your natural here. That's actually really easy to take. Or you do see sort of 2-gate robo, 1-gate robo expands. So for those of you who aren't really sure about what those are, we'll probably have a look at those in another game, but we'll get to those later. So what Hobocrunch is doing here is he has got the 2 gates out, which, as I said, is a bit uncommon, especially if it's not going to be proxied around here or up here in the high ground and that sort of thing, so you can get your Zealots across to your opponent a lot quicker. It can be done, though, of course, on this map because of this very large ramp here. So it can be good when you actually do that, but it looks as if he's just going to get the 2-gate going and he's not actually going to pressure with it. So from that perspective, it has put him back just a tiny bit in his economy, because he's sort of just sitting here with the 19 probes at the moment, doing a great job at that, and Calvus is up there with 16 SCVs over at his side of the map. But he's sort of just set back a little bit, but he's going to react to that by actually getting a robo up here in the corner. This is a great little spot to have it, because whilst it is actually quite susceptible to vision from the air, it can be not spotted if a Terran only scans down here. So it is a common tactic for Brotoss to actually put any sorts of tech buildings up away from where your normal building sort of placements are. So sometimes you'll see guys actually put, you know, Stargates, Robos, that sort of thing, all the way down here in the main little section of the base, where it can get scanned by the orbital command here. So it was interesting to see this one from Hobocrunch. I did actually watch this game live, so I do sort of know a little bit of what's coming, and of course so that I can actually hopefully properly react to you know, what we're going to see from the players. So we've got 3 racks up from Calvus. He's going to be going for just a little sort of opening there, not too much pressure I would think. He is supply blocked at the moment though, which is a bit of a hassle there. He is getting an engineering bay up, perhaps he's going to go for something bio-based, and it looks as if he might be. He does have combat shields, and stim is now just about done, so he may be looking for some sort of timing attack, perhaps if he's going to get the +1 to weapons, which is a great little timing attack to use as a Terran, is in that you can run across here. You can either take out the rocks and come through the middle, or you can just run straight around past the Xel'Naga Tower, which Calvus is controlling quite nicely, and go in and attack when you get +1. But it looks like Hobocrunch is going to actually go for some sort of warp in with his units. Perhaps he's going to get some stalkers out over there. I'm not too sure just at the moment, but he is actually finally getting the oh, he's actually got one observer over here already. My bad. So we do have one observer here for Hobocrunch actually spotting what's going on. He did float across the base, as you can see here. You can see the three racks, and you can also see the eBay just up here, which isn't actually moving just at the moment yet, so he's not going to need too much just at the moment. We want to see some sorts of things, how the players actually reacting to the what they can spot, because that is quite a big difference between looking at platinum play, looking at sort of gold, platinum to diamond, is actually seeing how players react to what you can actually see in your opponent's base. And it looks as if Hobocrunch is actually going to get charged for his Zealots to actually try and utilize their speed and rush in and hack up some of the Marines when he can. And it looks as if Calvus is going to go through the middle, as we said. His reaction just here with these turrets, where I noticed this when I was watching the game initially, he actually built these 3 turrets, which to me is a little bit of an overreaction to observers. Like, of course, they can be useful if your opponent is going to do any sorts of Phoenix harass or anything like that, but he didn't actually see any Stargates over here in the base. So just a little bit of an overreaction there. We do have the Marines and Marauders busting through the middle, and they're going to get stopped by the Brotoss forces here. There is an Immortal, which is a great unit to see when your opponent is actually getting some Marauders and that sort of thing. The Immortals are great to have in there to actually stop the Marauders. So great little force field there by Hobocrunch. He is going to lose this Stalker though, so we do see some of these units go down, and it looks as if this battle's sort of just going to hold up for a moment here, because it's going to be really difficult for Hobo to actually penetrate up this ramp, given that it is blocked off partially, and then there's obviously a lot of Terran forces down here as well. So we're sort of expecting to see these warp gates get used up a bit, because he needs to probably pump out a lot of Zealots and that sort of thing. It is I'm still sort of questioning the decision of Zealot Legs at the moment, but we'll see how he goes. He's actually getting Blink and Hallucination as well. Not too often that you see Hallucination. You generally can see it against Zerg, so the Brotoss can